Elity Cup 3 Semifinal, first semifinal to be exact. We are battling out for 2 spots. In the grand final, we have Taxon, we have MarciN, we have Vernee and Dalsi, who were the victorious players in the prior played quarterfinals. And yeah, we are playing cup mode, but first of all, welcome in everyone. I'm your host LuckersTurbo. Welcome in to the official English cast of the Elity Cup. And yeah, as I've mentioned already beforehand, we have cup mode that is being played. We have, as you can see down here, we have the maps that have been played. Players have banned maps beforehand, so we can see a certain amount of maps because every player could ban a map. And yeah, the point repetition is 10, 6, 4, and 3 for this time. So not 10, 5, 10, 7, 5, and 3. And yeah, the number of winners is 2 because only 2 players will proceed into the grand final, where everyone who has already reached it to the finalist mode or to the final itself grant himself some money. But if you have surpassed this 100 point threshold that we are playing to, we will they have to pass, or they have to win 1 more round in order to grant himself a ticket in the grand final. So good luck, FN. We will start with Azix Kazaul. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but forgive me with that. And yeah, I think this is a very versatile match. I think Taxon and MarciN are maybe the favorites here. MarciN, of course, can really get through the semi-final quick, but Vernee and Dalsi not to be underestimated. And let's go with the first round. Let's take over Dalsi's perspective as we see Vernee, who has made the first mistake of this semi-final here. Dalsi goes super close there, but was able to stay ahead. And yeah, what I forgot to mention is that we play a total of 1 more on each map and then 3 rounds. And then we will go to the next map. And if the map rotation is, or the whole rotation is finished and we go to the first map again, we will go to the live round after 5 seconds of warm-up that is concerning for the loading time. But you can see a very close fight here. Taxon going up to the lead, goes super close there to the barrier, but wasn't able to get in touch with that, so that was good for him. But he's actually getting a good trajectory over this section as well. So Taxon right now in the lead. Then we have Dalsi in second, and MarciN surprisingly only in third, but grants himself a lot of speed in this section. So Taxon is getting attacked by MarciN here. The Polish powerhouse is going for the attack, but Taxon with a great ending will stay in first. Only 0.27 of a second over him, but a 10-pointer goes into the pocket of Taxon. Dalsi is able to finish, but only with the safe way, so he will grant himself 3 points in this round. Okay, a little bit more like this, that should be fine. Okay. Into the second round we go. Of course, this ending is very hard to pull off, but it is Taxon who is the victorious player and the player who is right now in last place. So he didn't have a good start, but MarciN also making the mistake there. So it's between Vernee and Dalsi. So both of the players who didn't get any good amount of points in the prior round. So 4 and 3 points, vice versa. So not that they are looking for, but Dalsi doing this uphill good, as well as Vernee, because he's really capitalizing from that mistake that Taxon has just done beforehand. So he won't get a smooth landing in the slope. So MarciN now up to P3 again. MarciN is still 0.2 of a second behind Vernee, but everything can happen in the end. MarciN has pulled off some very insane endings, but Dalsi making the mistake, and all of a sudden it's Taxon and Vernee now in P1 and 2. So Taxon will be certainly very happy about that. Another good amount of points here for Taxon. Vernee with local tenure, 54.78. Good time by him. And he will be certainly very happy because now he will move up to second place. And it is Taxon who will extend his lead just... now it will actually be less because Vernee granted himself the first place. But still it is MarciN who is the biggest threat for him, I would say. No, don't want to be biased here, but I think MarciN is... I think the most, not skilled player here on this server. I wouldn't say that anyone is more skilled, but the most experienced. I mean, he has played the TMGL, and he has been in so many finals already that he's really know what he's doing. So, okay, so Taxon again with a good start. We have Vernee finding himself 1.5 seconds behind the leader. who is still Taxon. MarciN is just behind him. MarciN could make it with a good upper, and yes, he does so. Look at this. Very good that he went from the gas there before the turn and got this turn full speed, but makes a barrel roll here. Nice style points, but that wasn't the case that it helped him. So it will be Taxon again in first, Dalsi in second. So it is MarciN who's a little bit struggling on this track. And after a good opening, it is him only finding himself again with 3 points. So Taxon 26 points, Vernee with 18 points in second, and then we have Dalsi who comes very, very close towards MarciN here after that second place, but still finding himself in last place with 12 points. Into the next map we go. We have Brain Lag, where the local record is occupied by MarciN. And then we have, let me actually check, we have Dalsi, local 7, Taxon, local 10. And also Vernee is somewhere here, local 5 actually, so I didn't have to open that. But very good times by all of the players here, so that's what they're capable of doing. So hopefully they can cope it as good as they are doing it, or as they did it in their live or in their local performance. Right now it is Dalsi making the first mistake, but of course it's warm-up, so nothing is really happening here. So the infamous ending here, it's really hard to do. Taxon is approaching it at first, this part where you have to get a good landing here. And also this flip in the ending, which can be really decisive. We've seen a lot of throws there. MarciN has struggled a little bit. And also Hugo, who's unfortunately already out of this tournament. But yeah, now we are at the semi-final, so everything can happen here. Into the first live round we go. Let's follow Dalsi here, who's at only 12 points. But still, nothing is lost, of course. MarciN with a very good start here, as well as Dalsi opts for that inside approach. But look at this. This really pays off. And right now he finds himself in that first position. So great start there from the only French player in this semi-final. We have a Polish player, we have a German player, and the Canadian. And then, of course, Dalsi as the only French player, which is pretty unusual to say for those kind of competitions. But very cool to see that, as we see Dalsi dropping down like a fly here in this section. So it's MarciN in first, and we have Vernee and Taxon. Your top 3 right now. Taxon opts for that very low approach, and therefore doesn't really have a lot of speed compared to what's MarciN and Vernee. But Vernee with a mistake. MarciN with a good section in this last part here, and very good flip there for MarciN. Taxon in second with a 53.66. So what a great time there from MarciN, who will clock in a 10-pointer. Dalsi actually in third. And Vernee grants himself 3 points, but in last place. So not the best stuff there for both Dalsi and Vernee there. So Taxon still remains in the lead. MarciN in second, and then we have Vernee in third. Dalsi with 16 points. I mean, he got 4 points, but this is not what he is actually looking for. So MarciN again with a good start alongside with Dalsi. So those players have really figured out this track the best. Concerning the start, MarciN with a very good jump. You can see he's just doing it like you should do it, but not should do it like that. You shouldn't touch the wall there. But this can happen, so Taxon is now up in the lead. Very risky turn there from him, but it's Dalsi who has a little bit more speed because Taxon went too far outside after that after that exit there from that drop. So he will go down towards P3. So Vernee and Dalsi now up to P1 and 2. Taxon with an interesting line there, as you can see, moves up to P2. Good speed, so this will be all in the ending. Dalsi dropped down. Vernee is making it, and what a great flip there from Vernee. Taxon in second and Dalsi in third. So this is what Vernee is needing, and he's overtaking MarciN with that and comes close towards Taxon, and MarciN only finishes in P4. So a very even distributed semi-final right now. I mean the points, of course, speaking the opposite But Dalsi getting some points, Vernee getting some points, and MarciN now down to P3. So this is an upset. Taxon goes super close there. Oh my god. So therefore he has not a lot of speed, but still a very good line there from the German player. MarciN again with his tricksters really accumulates a lot of speed. You can see that. Very, very good section here. Will just pull away from the players here. Vernee right now in second. And then we have Taxon currently occupying that third position. Dalsi a little bit behind. Didn't get the best trajectory here, and also not the best speed outcome. But of course this infamous ending is remaining on this last round here on Brain Lag. You could surely see that map again. MarciN risking it so much and therefore is losing it. Good save, but he will drop down to P4. And Vernee again with a 10-pointer. And also Dalsi will snipe Taxon 6 points away. So MarciN from first to last in the end section. And Vernee with another 10-pointer, which will put him 1 point behind Taxon here. So great, great 2 rounds there from Vernee, the Canadian player I was talking about. Wow, great ending there from him. As we go into the next map, we have Soltech. So a tag map that we have not seen for a long time, if I remember correctly. And this one is pretty nice to drive, actually. I have not driven it myself, but it looks really fun to play. Rather not open tag map, but pretty speedy. You surpass that 300 km/h sometimes here on this track. And as you can see here, some pillars, some adjustments. And I think MarciN will just shine through here on this track. But we can also see Taxon, who's doing a good job here in this warm-up section. As you can see, he's right now in first place. And players won't certainly be happy about tech here. But they can capitalize from mistakes, because this end, if you have a small mistake in the end or a small error in the end, you can drop down. Players will approach it now. So now the ending section is coming up, and if you make a mistake here, you have to gather a lot of speed. You are not able to make it into the finish here, because the finish jump is rather tight and pretty hard to do. So good luck on this map. As we go into the first live round on Soltech. Let's follow Dalsi. Cool car skin, I just have to admit here. Good start there from both of the players who complained about, or not complained, but yeah, who I didn't think that were so good on tech. But MarciN just showing why he is one of the best tech players out there, or like one of the most versatile players. So he is right now in the lead, and it's looking really good for the Polish player. Vernee is chasing him, Taxon in P3, and then we have Dalsi in 4th place. He gives us a good overview, 0.35 of a second behind the leader. And let's follow Taxon here for this last couple of turns. MarciN with a good turn, but so did it Vernee. So what a fight here between MarciN and Vernee. MarciN with a little bit more speed in this section. But actually he lost a little bit, so Taxon will go up to that 2nd place. And MarciN will grant himself the first 10-pointer on this tag map. Oh, but Taxon had to save it here. But is... Oh, no! Vernee will grant himself 1st place and Taxon in 2nd, because it is MarciN who has made the mistake there in the ending section. And he has to opt for that. Safe finish. Calm down, MarciN. You got it. Oh, but what a cruel mistake there. And this will be super good for Vernee, because he's now up in the lead. And MarciN only with 32 points in 3rd place. So what a surprise for me. This really comes as a surprise for me that he is so far behind. As we go into the 2nd round, so MarciN really in need of some points, because we only played till a point level of 100, and Vernee and Taxon are almost halfway through that, and MarciN is still only a little bit over 30 points here. So, interesting stuff there. Interesting, man. Okay, so Taxon off to a very good section here. As you can see, he's ahead of MarciN. And it's looking good for the German that he can clock in a 10-pointer. I mean, he got denied by Vernee in the prior round, but only because he had a little bit of a worse ending. He was thinking that, yo, I'm getting that second place, but Taxon will grant himself first place. No! It is MarciN with 33 thousandths of a second. But what a great time there from both of the players. Local 2 and also MarciN, who is occupying Local 1. Granting himself the 10 points. What a great round from both of the players. But Taxon can't really go a little bit further ahead compared to what's Vernee. He gets denied those 10 pointers all the way. 8 points that he is lacking already. Because he was very unlucky in this last couple of rounds. But still a very good performance by him. MarciN again with a very good angle here in this section. And this looks like that MarciN is attacking Taxon. But Taxon with a very good section as well here. As you can see. Taxon versus MarciN here. Looking good. Where is Dalsi? I mean. And where's Vernee? Vernee is super far behind as well as Dalsi. 0.3 of a second. So they won't have a saying here. So Taxon versus MarciN. And it's looking like another MarciN round as he's just zooping away. Look at this speed from MarciN here in this section. 0.25 of a second ahead. So he will most likely set a very good time here. Look at that. Looking good for MarciN. Taxon can take it easy because he won't overtake MarciN unless he will make a mistake. But I don't want to forecast it here. But this will be a banger of a time for MarciN. Oh, looking good. 103.26. MarciN in first. Taxon in second. And then we have Vernee in first, third or fourth place. Let us see. Dalsi not making... he's making the jump. So Dalsi in third and Vernee in fourth place. So MarciN is going really fast here. Vroom, vroom fast for MarciN. Really greatly done for him. And on to the next map we go. We have No More Workout Cut coming up. Map by Taxon. And I think it could be the other player's time to shine here. Ignore my time here. I just finished this map once, so don't at me for that. So MarciN with Local 1 here. Very good time, 104.61. And then we have Dalsi as well here, Local 7. And Vernee is nowhere to be seen here. Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss him? No, he's a Local 22. And Taxon is... Wait, where's Taxon? I think he didn't play on the server. But yeah, on the next map, we only have a warm-up for 5 seconds. So then the pressure is kicking in. Then the pressure is kicking in, boys. So players have warmed up. MarciN coming closer towards Vernee. And I can you smell it as well? I can smell a triple final situation already. Okay, so let's go with the first round here on No More Workout Cuts. As you can see, this beautiful thumbnail here. Let's actually go with some T-Tours. We have Schultz here with a cast or something. I don't know. But Schultz, if I remember correctly, but I think I recognize him. No more cuts here on this track. As you can see, all the Schultz thingies here. And right now it's Taxon and Dalsi in first place. So looking good for the Numalops player that he can grant himself another or one of his first 10 pointers because he got denied so many times already by MarciN. who played outstandingly on this segment, and also in this ending by Vernee, if you remember that first round there. But Dalsi wants to say something else. He wants to deny Taxon yet again a 10-pointer here, as Taxon has a little bit more speed in this section. So he comes closer. Is this sufficient for him? 1/10 between both of them. Taxon goes for it, but Dalsi will take it. Dalsi with a 10-pointer. Very good ending there. 105.59. And it is Taxon only again. Again in second place. So Taxon is really lacking those 10-pointers. MarciN turning it to the finish. But he is losing it. Why didn't he respawn? Oh man, why didn't he respawn? Sometimes you hate to see something like that. The pressure is kicking in, of course. So Taxon in first, then we have Vernee in second, and then MarciN in third place with 52 points. After he didn't finish that last round, he is almost dropping down to P4 here, actually. Because it is Dalsi who granted himself 10 points. Taxon in first place. Very good start there from the German player again, but MarciN with more speed in this section, and he could overtake him here. As you can see, MarciN opts for that more inside approach, and therefore goes more up here for the speed to go for an air brake here, as well as Taxon, but Taxon only was able to clear that one very tight. So MarciN now up in the lead, and we have Taxon behind 500s, but now make it 1600s now. So Taxon will be in second place yet again, and MarciN will grant himself a 10-pointer, and this is looking good for him. 104.55, what a time! And Taxon also with a sub 105. Wow, what a time here by the Polish player. Holy moly, what a great time by him. So you can see that those times here that have been set are not the WRs. Those are times that have been set on this server. So Taxon still in the lead with 72 points, but he got denied so many 10-pointers. He could have been so much more ahead. And also MarciN coming closer. He's lurking. Going to the next round here on No More Worker Cut. MarciN with a very good start here. And also Dalsi is in the mix. Taxon has made the mistake here and finds himself in third place, but comes back strong as Dalsi has made the mistake there. It is Vernee versus Taxon for that second place. MarciN in P1. 0.3 of a second ahead is MarciN over Taxon, but didn't get the best landing here. So it will be Vernee and Taxon coming a bit closer. Vernee with a lot of speed here in this section. And Vernee will be certainly very happy about that, saying knock knock. But MarciN with a gold-like approach in this section. And also Taxon got it really good, as well as Dalsi. So it will be Vernee dropping down to P4. And MarciN will grant himself a 10-pointer. No. Yes. No. Yes. Okay. It looked like that he has failed it. But MarciN with 10 points. Taxon again with 6 points here. And it will be Dalsi with 4 points in last place. What a close round there. But Taxon still remains in the lead as we go to a dirt map. And now we have only a warm-up of 10 seconds. And then we will go into the live round directly. Okay, so Taxon 76 points out of MarciN, but beware, he still needs to win the finalist mode. And I don't want to forecast it, but he's getting so many second places. I hope for him, because he really deserves to go into the final. Because he's German and he's a cool guy. So if you guys want to check out his content, make sure to check out his stream. Taxon is really pushing it there. And yeah, he's right now looking good to clinch in another 10-pointer here, or a 6-pointer, but he's made a mistake. So Dalsi is in first, then we have Vernee in second, and Taxon has a little bit more speed. But where is MarciN? MarciN is nowhere to be seen. Vernee with a sloppy landing there in the slope, so he will drop down, and it will be actually MarciN coming closer towards Taxon here, but it won't be enough. So Taxon yet again forever second in second place. Dalsi in first. Really needed for him. And this will put everyone closer together as Vernee only now with 3 points, moving up to 70 points. But Dalsi is coming closer, only 4 points behind him now. So, yeah. Actually, MarciN now in second. I mean, he used to be like that beforehand, but now a huge gap between Taxon and MarciN here in this bout. 8 points. The biggest gap we've seen so far. Oh, but Taxon now with a mistake, and this is cruel for him. He drops down to P4 now with that. And Dalsi feeling this track, so this could be the comeback for the French player. Maybe he can play under this pressure the best, as he finds himself in first place over MarciN. MarciN not getting the best speed. 1500 tearing those players apart. There is Vernee nowhere to be seen. So Dalsi, oh, good speed for MarciN. Dalsi goes super close. MarciN with the tricksters, and he will go for the nosedive. It will be all in the ending for that 10-pointer. Will it be Dalsi or MarciN who will take it? MarciN with a mistake, and it will be MarciN who will actually get not overtaken by Taxon here, as it seems. No, not quite. Oh, and Taxon actually dropping down to P4. But great save there from him, not turtling. So Taxon only with 3 points in this round. And Dalsi again with a 10-pointer. Look how close this is now. 13 points between first and last place. So this could be anyone's match here. Dalsi now up to third place. And it's Vernee who has made the first mistake of this round. MarciN now up to first. Taxon with a good trajectory here, as you can see. Okay, this is very close to call here. As you can see, it is MarciN, Taxon in first right now. And then we have Dalsi a little bit behind, but Taxon with the best amount of speed. So forever second again for Taxon. MarciN with a godlike approach over this section. Almost came into touch with that triangle, but that wasn't the case. But what is this guy smoking? Will Taxon clock in a 6-pointer yet again, or will Dalsi deny it to him? Taxon with a good amount of speed in the ending. Maybe he will actually overtake MarciN in this ending, but MarciN's ending seems to be so good. And actually Taxon will almost drop down to third place there. But that wasn't the case. So MarciN now 1 point behind Taxon. 93 points for him. And MarciN 92 points. Then we have Dalsi with 80 points. Good map for him. And Vernee with 77 points in last. Moving on to brain lag. We could potentially see our first winner here. It is Taxon, 1 victory, and also MarciN 1 victory away from the finalist mode. And Dalsi needs 2 victories in a row to activate that. And then Vernee is unfortunately with the 77 points, a little bit further behind. But of course, nothing is set in stone here, as we have a warm-up of 5 seconds. And we'll go into the live round already. So Dalsi with a good start. He wants to get those 10 pointers, as well as MarciN. And MarciN really looked strong in this section. Let me drink something here. So MarciN on his way to clock in that finalist mode. Dalsi is second, but he needs more than that. He needs a first place, or even more. Taxon is super far behind. He finds himself in last at the moment. 1.6 seconds behind, but Dalsi with a mistake, and this is cruel before that section here. So Taxon could grant himself that 4 points instead of 3. But Taxon, oh, very good landing there for him. But let's see who grants himself the first place. Is it MarciN or Vernee? And it's actually Vernee with the first place, and MarciN has failed it. So Taxon with a face lap now, and it's MarciN with 95 points. Oh, no way. No. So Vernee now up 87 points. Taxon 99 points. And MarciN 95 points after that cruel mistake. So no finalists this time. And MarciN now leads first and second place. So a little bit more pressure put on his shoulder. And Dalsi 84 points in last right now. So this is a very close semi-final. But everyone can make it happen here. This is do or die, of course. As we see MarciN with a very good start. He wants to redeem himself. But of course, this ending can be very, very unforgiving. If you make a small mistake, you can drop down. MarciN again with a very good section. Look at this. Vernee in last. And we have Dalsi in second and MarciN in first. Taxon with a landing bug. Not looking too good for him, but of course he only needs to finish. MarciN needs first or second place. Looking good. He should save that, but of course Taxon is in a hot pursuit. As Dalsi with a godlike ending. Look at that. And it's MarciN in second, Taxon in third. And we have a double finalist situation now. As Dalsi is now up to 94 points. And also Vernee. Oh my god, Vernee now up to 90 points. So we could see a quadruple final situation if Vernee gets himself first place and Dalsi second. Oh my god, what is happening here? MarciN first, Taxon second. And Dalsi with 94 points still can have a saying here. So going into the last round here on Brain Lag. This could be it for one of the players, for either Taxon or MarciN. They could qualify themselves for the grand final in the Elity Cup 3. But right now it's looking good that Dalsi, the player who's third seated, could grant himself a chance. And the finest attempt as we see Taxon dropping down. This is bad news for him, but good turn for him. And also MarciN. Oh my god! He's hitting the branches. Oh my god. What was that? And Taxon on his way to grant himself a ticket into the grand final. But there we have Vernee, who can also have a saying here. He has to risk it, and he will do so. Good landing for him. Taxon, the ending is remaining for the German player, and he could make it happen. Taxon is making it. No, yes, no, yes. What the fuck? Oh my god, Taxon qualified for the grand final. GG. What a great ending there from Taxon. And he has made it happen. MarciN still in finals, but Taxon has qualified himself for the grand final of the Elity Cup. Well played. GG, man. So, off into the next map we go. We have Tech, and this is very, very favorable for MarciN. But he can make a mistake. So let's follow MarciN here for his second or third finalist attempt. MarciN on his way to clock in that finalist, or the ticket into the final here. As you see Dalsi and Vernee have fighting it really hard here, as you can see. MarciN, however, with a little bit more speed in this section. Dalsi goes super far outside, and therefore more speed though. But this won't be a good line for him because he had to readjust it a little bit. So MarciN up into the lead. And this should be his game. But the nose slide for MarciN. But what a nice save there. Oh my god, what a nice save there from MarciN. And coming back strong. Oh, that was the save of the century. What the hell? But Vernee is now battling out with MarciN. But holy shit, this was Restoration 100. What is happening here? MarciN approaching it very good. So he will go into the grand final. GG. So Taxon and MarciN are through. And Dalsi and Vernee are unfortunately out. But well played from all of the players. GG.